massive amounts of TVs for sale here. I've never seen so many TVs at a Walmart that I'm looking at right now. They are piled up literally to the ceiling. What's really shocking is this Walmart, there's hardly that many people here right now. Massive amounts of big screens. It's massive. Look at this, $98. Unbelievable how many televisions they have here for sale. There's even more. Remember, it wasn't that long ago when the shelves were empty. Nobody could get a TV. I remember filming at this store. There was no shoes on the rack. Clothes racks were empty. And now everything's plentiful. Problem is now people don't have money. And now we're looking at car lots filling up. We're looking at piles of televisions, piles of clothes, piles of shoes. Who's gonna buy all this stuff now? Because people are broke. Here's a few things everybody should have put away. When you're talking about how you're gonna heat up water, heat up food. Excellent thing to have. But it's really shocking to come to the store today, and we're running some errands, had a few minutes, just want to run in here and see what's going on, get you guys a little barometer of what's happening to the economy. People are not shopping like they once did, and the inventory here of retail supplies is just piling up to the ceiling. Shelves throughout the store are completely stocked. I see no shortages of toys, sporting goods, electronics, clothing, you name it. Problem is, there's just not a lot of people here. And you know that most people now are forced to shop at a store like Walmart, and yet where are they at? They're over in the grocery section buying food. They're not buying toys, they're not buying clothes, they're not buying shoes, they're not buying electronics. They're on the other side buying groceries that they're using buy now, pay later plans, credit cards, government subsidies in order to do this. But the days of just buying stuff that you don't really need, I think have come to an end. Another good thing to have is extra charcoal. If you need to cook, you need to have a fire, you need to make food, cook food, you should have some extra charcoal. And it's all here. Loads of it. It's Monday, March 4th, 2024. So I just wanted to show all of you that today, one of my local Walmarts here, and the amount of inventory that is piling up, and I've never seen that many big screen TVs piled up at a Walmart in my entire life. They're getting cheaper than ever. They're piled up to the ceiling, and you could see throughout the store the shelves are stocked. Where are the shoppers? Well, from what I saw, from what I observed, most people were buying food. Now, items that they can live without, they're not buying. They're buying food. And they're certainly not buying big screen TVs. So I wanted to show that to you because there was a interesting thing I was watching on the news today on Fox Business, and was talking about cars, new and used, piling up on the car lot. So we're seeing big screen TVs, we're seeing Walmart shelves piling up, and we're seeing automobiles and pickup trucks piling up on the lots. No doubt banks are hitting the brakes on car loans. On a new car, the average rate is around 5.64 to 14.78%. That's a loan on a new car. On a used car, they're averaging to borrow money to get a loan on a used car is going to cost you about 7.66% to 29.9%, depending on your credit. If you have a credit score below 700, you're going to have to pay a lot in interest to buy a car. There's no doubt about that. And right now, what we're seeing is we're seeing a lot of people who don't have good credit. They're falling behind on the payments that they have right now, on the credit cards, rent, automobiles, mortgages, and it's dinging their credit. And in doing so, it's going to be much more difficult for people to go borrow money to buy anything. Get this, new car inventory as of today is sitting over 2.61 million vehicles sitting on car lots today. A year ago at this time, it was 1.7 million. So we have almost a million more cars on the lots today than we did a year ago. Who is going to buy these cars? The average car loan is $23.7 thousand. That's if you take new and used. The average loan is $23.7 thousand. And we are watching rejections of loans skyrocket. Now, here's one from Fox Business today. Americans are struggling to get a loan since the Fed started raising rates. This was a really interesting article. A startling survey from Bankrate.com found 50% of loans or financial product applicants have been denied since the Fed started raising rates in March of 2022. Credit card applicants have been rejected the most frequently, with 14% of Americans reporting that banks denied them a new credit card, while another 6% were refused a balance transfer card. Man, when you're doing balance transfers, you know you're on the last leg. 11% were denied a credit limit increase on their existing credit card. This is also going to be big trouble for people because this is their lifeboat right here. This is their lifeline, is credit cards. And if they cannot increase those limits, they're in big trouble. Personal loans, 10% were denied for personal loans. Car loans and leases, 9% were denied. 8% were denied for auto insurance. And 5% were denied a mortgage loan. We are now beginning to watch a credit crisis unravel right before our very eyes. And this is going to spell a disaster. This is going to be catastrophic when people do not have access to credit. This is bad for businesses. This is going to strangle the average American who's been surviving on nothing but credit. It's coming, ladies and gentlemen. It's getting really, really close for a lot of people. And a lot of people realize now that what we were talking about 3 or 4 years ago isn't a joke. It wasn't some fantasy. It wasn't just doom and gloom. It wasn't something out of a movie. It was reality. And thank God all of you have been preparing and continue to prepare. Take every day. Use the time that you have wisely and keep preparing, because we don't know how bad this is going to get. We know it's going to get bad. How long will it last? Nobody knows. It's going to last A year, 5 years, 10 years, 15 years? Nobody knows. You got to be preparing for the worst case scenario. Gold rises above $2,100 to highest level ever as traders bet on interest rate cuts. Gold has definitely been doing very, very well, and it's performed, I think, very, very well when you take into account interest rates up, strong dollar, and we're sitting at 21, 23 right now as I make this video on an ounce of gold. I would forecast that when the Fed does begin to cut rates, and I don't know when that's going to be. I find it hard to believe they're going to be able to do it this year, but say they do, or they do it next year, whenever they do it tomorrow. Gold is going to run wild. Silver had a nice day today, up 74 cents, now over $24. Another private jet flying over today. We've got the tennis tournament in town for 2 weeks, and the airports are full of private jets. So that tells me that the 1% are continuing to enjoy what is happening in the stock market. While the U.S. economy has been sacrificed for the stock market, they're enjoying all of this. They're enjoying the high interest rates. They're going to enjoy it even more when they cut rates. It's going to benefit them more than ever, and they'll be buying more private jets and more Rolls Royces when they cut rates. People don't realize, they think that their life is somehow going to improve when the Fed does cut rates. No, it's going to get much worse for the middle class and much worse for the poor. It's going to help those people at the very, very top. Central bank gold buying expected to remain hot over next several years. This on the Hedge today. Net central bank gold buying exceeded 1,000 tons for the last 2 years. Central gold demand is expected to be red hot for at least the next 6 years. Be as diversified as possible. I highly advise that everybody owns some gold. If you can't afford gold, get some silver. These things are never going to be worth zero. And if you see things the way I see it, that there is so much uncertainty that we're going to see more war, more uncertainty, more inflation, more dollar devaluation, rate cuts somewhere down the road, causing more inflation, probably hyperinflation. If you're seeing what I'm seeing and you're connecting the dots, you're probably going to continue to buy more gold, more silver. And there's other things you can be buying out there, but for me, I want to be holding something that has a 5,000-year history, something that I can get to very, very quickly, something that I can spread out in multiple locations, something that I can take anywhere in the world, and people are going to look at it and know that that's real money, that it has value in any country on planet Earth and beyond. So be careful, be diversified. I'd be stacking cash and metals right now. Crypto's been doing very well. You've got Bitcoin nearly at its all-time high right now. But look, again, if the lights go out, cyber attack, grids down, no farmer is taking Bitcoin. Farmer's going to be taking gold. Farmer's going to be taking silver. And if the dollar's still around, they might take some dollars. Shifting gears here a little bit. Cartel gunmen use landmines, drones to kill 4 soldiers in Mexico. We're finding more of this along the border now. Landmines and the use of drones. And this is hitting very, very close to home. And there is so much happening down at that border, ladies and gentlemen, that people are ignoring, that they're not preparing for. Do your research, be preparing. There's going to be a lot of chaotic things coming here. You've got some real bad actors now here and more coming. Here's another one. Yes, we have a massive threat here in America. U.S. faces 7,300% surge in Venezuelan migration, not 73%. 7,300% surge in Venezuelan migration. And there's a picture of a bunch of people, looks like they're on a bus, maybe it's a train, smiling because they're on their way here. The newcomers, ladies and gentlemen, the newcomers are arriving every minute. And you don't know what their intentions are, you don't know who they are, you don't know their backgrounds, you don't know where they're from. We know nothing about them, but I think, again, we can put 2 and 2 together and know that there's a lot of bad actors here that don't like you, don't like me, and you better be preparing. And there's an article here today, be prepared to defend yourself from different types of looters. I cannot stress this enough. It says here, potential looters won't necessarily be criminal elements. In periods of natural disasters or civil chaos, they come out in desperation to survive and feed their families. You know, people who aren't prepared, who don't have food put away, don't have water put away, what do you think they're going to do when their kids are starving? They're going to come and they're going to take somebody else's food and water. And if you don't have security to protect this stuff, it may be your neighbor, it may be somebody from your church, it may be somebody down the street who is going to take your stuff because their kid is starving. You can sympathize with these people, but remember one thing. When these people get hungry, when they get needy, when they get desperate, when they need a Band-Aid, they're coming to you. And they're going to take your food, your water, your medical gear, whatever they can get their hands on. People that you might have thought at some point were friendly. So you can sympathize with them all you want, but remember, they're going to be taking your calories and they're going to be jeopardizing your survival and your family's survival. You better learn how to defend yourself and your families right now, ladies and gentlemen. Time is running out. You're all going to resort back to your training. It says here there are also optimistic looters, large groups of angry, disgruntled people who gather quickly to destroy and damage property. These are the ones we've been watching for years that, and currently right now, that go in and loot, you know, Louis Vuitton stores and Gucci stores and laugh, and they go into 7-Elevens and gas stations and take everything and they laugh, and it's just entertainment. This will be a gigantic party for these people, the optimistic type looters. Also in the article makes a really good point here. It says, beware of fake friends. People in your community, your neighbors. I've known a lot of fake people throughout my life. I've gotten rid of a lot of fake people out of my life. People that don't bring anything to the table. People that don't know how to fight. People who will not fight. People who are not willing to fight. They're not bringing skills to the table. They have nothing to offer. And if you're sitting at the table and you don't know how to defend yourself or your family, you're not going to be sitting at my table. That's for sure. I cannot afford to have people that if they can't even defend themselves, how are they going to defend their family or their friends or the people at this table? Protect with the 4 Ds. Deter, such as getting dogs. That's a great way to deter bad guys. There are obviously other ways. Read the article. Detect, solar power charged wireless alarm systems. Also a good way. Deny, make sure that you lock the doors, lock the windows, fortify your home in many ways, and defend. Make sure you have the tools to defend. Make sure that you're continuing to learn defensive skills in jiu-jitsu, boxing, Muay Thai, whatever it may be. But sitting around on the couch and not doing anything, or my back hurts, my finger hurts, my elbow hurts, I can't go train today, I can't do jiu-jitsu, it's always an excuse. Well, I can't have people around me that always have excuses of why they can't defend themselves, their family, their friends. So get rid of the people who keep making excuses because they got a sore finger or a sore elbow or a sore back. If you can't deal with the pain right now, what are you gonna do when the real pain comes? When they're kicking in your door, when they're attacking your kids? What are you gonna do? So get rid of the fake friends, you know, the people that walk around and tell you how much they're really prepared. And you look at these people, you know they're as weak as can be. Take a look at them. Are they really the type of people you want in your corner? Would these be the people you want at your house when crap goes down? Are these the people that you know got your back? Take a look at people. You can pretty much take a look at somebody and go, nah, that person's not going to be a victim. That person's probably going to put up a fight. But, you know, don't just look the part, be the part. You know, make sure that you know how to use your hands. Make sure that you know how to use those tools. Make sure you're spending time at the range. Make sure you're working on your tactics. Make sure that you're doing gear checks, that everything's working. And just make sure that you're walking the walk. More food, more water, more gear, more supplies, and surround yourself. I'd rather be with 4 or 5 solid people than 50 fakes or 50 wannabes that bring nothing to the table. These people will be a liability. Bring the fighters to the table. Bring the people that know how to do things. People that, you know, will put some skin in the game for you, that got your back, that got your family's back, that you can trust. It's going to be hard to find, and you may only have a couple of them, but let me tell you, you're going to be a much better group. Even a small group is going to be much better than a large group of untrained, unwilling, fake people who have no guts, who have no training, who don't walk the walk. I'm going to leave it there today. I don't want to go on a rant here, but so much happening. I hope that everybody is preparing. Get in better shape, but even better than that, get skills. It's wonderful, to be in nice shape, but being in good shape isn't going to save your life. It is a benefit. It will enhance you, but having skills on how to defend yourself and your family is going to be way better. You should be in good shape, but if you're learning how to defend yourself, if you're in jiu-jitsu, if you're in Muay Thai, if you're in a boxing class, an MMA class, you're getting in good shape, but you're getting skills. Do things that are going to give you skills, ladies and gentlemen. Learn how to preserve food. Appalachia's Homestead, Patera, again, great channel, Walking the Walk. I watched a video of her the other day where she was taking care of her goats. And, she's got videos on how to preserve and can food and grow food. And these are people who are like, this is their lifestyle now. And this should be all of our lifestyles, all of ours. Even though I'm here on a golf course, I'm trying to move, doing the best that I can. But you might be in an apartment, you might be living in a garage, you might be living in a condo, you might be living down at the beach. There's always something that we can be adding to put the odds in our favor. Maybe you can't have a farm. Maybe you can't have 20 goats. Maybe you don't have a cow. But I'll tell you what, you could be in a jiu-jitsu class tonight. You could be at a range somewhere. You could be putting a little extra food away, a little extra water away, pharmaceuticals, vitamins, maybe having some kind of bug out plan, meeting like-minded people so that you have a group. There's always something we can be doing to add a little bit to the plan. So I'm going to leave it there. God bless every one of you. Thanks for tuning in. Please like, share, and subscribe. Feel free to leave a comment down below about how maybe you're preparing, maybe some advice to all of us. I know I'm leaving out 1,000 things right now, but what would let's put it this way. Give me your top 5 preparations and leave them down below. I want to know your top 5. Put them in order. From 1 to 5, what are your top 5 preps? Mine off the top of my head is going to be God, security, food, water, and then from there, I'm going to say gear. Might be a tourniquet. It might be a trauma kit, boots, things like that. Jackets, clothing, extra socks, batteries, things like that. That would probably be around number 5, but that's just off the top of my head. Let me know your thoughts. Comment down below. God bless all of you. Look forward to speaking with all of you very, very soon. Take care.